You're live. So, welcome to Testimony. You're in my house. We're in my house. And I have something that I want to share with you guys. It's kind of buffing. It's kind of buffing. Oh, okay, there it is.
Oh, look, okay.
Yeah, hey, it is what it is. You know what? We just.
Hi, guys.
Hey. So, we're here because there's a project that's going to be getting started by a neighbor of mine, and I won't tell you guys exactly what it is, but it's a really special project. Um, and her name is Alexis, and she's a photographer, and very smart and gifted young lady, and I'm pleased to say she's my neighbor. She's behind the scene today. Just say hi, Lexi.
Hi. That's Lexi, mommy.
So, and today's story, I have Margarita back. You guys probably already know who Margarita is. Margarita has a story about prostitution. For her, she said it was a choice and it was not by force that she was a prostitute.
No. It was by force, not by choice.
It was by force, not by choice.
Yes.
That she was a prostitute. I'm sorry. I think I put that all backwards too on the title.
Okay.
Well, at least y'all know the truth now, right? See, that means, I don't know. I can't call it. I can't call it. Well, the reason why I said that is because yours was by force. I do know your story a little bit, but you do say that if you had a choice, it wouldn't be. In your book, prostitution is a profession now. It's not really something that you look at like it's just a disgrace, because it's really not. You can be a hoe in your own house. You know that. And the minister told you that. The minister told you that last Saturday when she talked to y'all. She would be a hoe in your own house. So, we can't discriminate. We can't sit here and point fingers and be like, oh, she's a hoe. She's she's this, she's that. Because you know what? Sometimes whatever it takes for these people to feed their kids, that's what they're gonna do. And guess what? Regardless to if you at your house or not. I'm sure you women have said things to the point where I'm not going out with him unless he pay me. Okay, well, hey, that's the same thing. So I guess I was a hoe, okay? Because I was definitely getting paid for my time, because you wasn't wasting my time. You just was not wasting my time. And thank God I'm delivered from all of that. But when I was dating, oh, you could not be no broke nigga coming to see me. You had to have something, and it had to be worth something, because it just wasn't worth my time. And I had a daughter to feed, and I had bills, and so of course you can't go to Disneyland. I told y'all Magic Mountain and SeaWorld for free, so you can't come over here with mine and think you gonna be at the amusement park for free. That's just the way it is, and I understand how you feel when you make that point. That's why I got it mixed up. I'm sorry. That it was not by choice for you. It was by force. Because you were so young.
Yeah, I was 15.
You was 15 years old.
In 1997, May 19th, I remember the day. It was a week after my 15th birthday.
Can you tell me, how did you get to that point?
How did I started in the lifestyle? How I ran into a pimp?
How did you get to that point?
Well, first of all, I met him when I was 14. I thought he was my boyfriend, and we kissed and all that, but we never had sex. I was a virgin. It just a week after my 15th birthday, I remember my dad. It just happened. I remember my dad putting me on punishment. I ran away from home. I called my boyfriend, and I just went with him. And he actually even told me around that time, like, he wasn't ready to turn me out, but he was so. When I ran away with him, he was around all his pimp partners, And they literally was looking at him like, "Oh, what you gonna do with her?" So he was pressured to, put me out there. He was 19 himself. He was pressured to put me out there pretty much. And um, I remember it was on Sunset behind the All American Burger stand, which is not there no more. They put something else there. But I remember he took me back there, and he was telling me, he was like, I need you to go do this
On
and do that.
Sunset, y'all, because we in LA.
Yes, and this was in 1997 when like pimping and hoeing was really going in Los Angeles. Okay, and he took me back there and just was when he started talking to me and just telling me like, this is what you need to do. You need to have him go here, go there. When you get to go down Sunset to La Brea, make a left. When you get to Hollywood, make a left, and the hotel's going to be right there. So I just literally, for a second, I was like, no, we could go to my parents' house to eat if we want to. And he just was like, how are we going to survive? Make a long story. He literally got into my mind, manipulated me pretty much. And I felt like as he was talking and giving me instructions at 15 years old, I felt like my mind just went upside down and I became a machine. I was told what I needed to do and what I needed to be.
He programmed you just that quick.
As a child,
yeah,
yes,
that's very possible. As a child,
of
course.
That's why it's
just that quick.
That's why it's very important to be on top of our daughters, on top of our sons these days, because it's a lot of undercover gay older men out there that is getting our minor sons, our young men. They're manipulating them they're raping them, manipulating them that this is how they're supposed to be gay and fuck the woman and all this, And same thing with us women as young ladies. They manipulate the mind of a child. Just think about it. If you raise a child to be racist, then that child's gonna be racist. No child is born to be racist.
So you said he raised you to become bona fide.
Well, he didn't raise me. He got me when I was a minor.
So he reprogrammed you to become
just that fast. In me living a life in a good home and all that, but I just ran away because I was bad. Not bad, but I didn't want to be on punishment. I felt like they're just treating me like this because I'm an adopted child.
One ex-hole told me, what y'all running from is what you need to be running to. You was running from your mama or your discipline or your home, but you should have been embracing it.
Yes.
Because what you ran to is what you should have been running from.
Yes. And that's where I literally, he got me. He told all the instructions that he gave me. I did exactly everything he told me to do. And that's when I had sex for the first time with this Asian chick. And he literally, it was weird because I didn't feel anything. And I heard so many things about, the first time having sex. It's like you bleed and stuff like that, and I didn't bleed. So I was like, what, so I just didn't think nothing of it. And then when he gave me that money, it was just like, okay, I did this. But after a few days of doing that, of course, it came to my life. I mean, to my senses, I'm not supposed to do this. I broke out in hives because, I'm a child. It's my first time.
You was afraid.
Yeah, I was my first time running away from home. So I broke out in hives because I was just like, I don't know. I felt like just scared out of,
Not to cut you off. When he started you because you was a child, what are the words that he used to manipulate the fact that it was okay for you to go and do what you was going to do? Did he say something like, I'm going to watch you, I have your back?
No, this is exactly what made me just, after me telling him that we could go to my parents' house and all that, and he kept disagreeing of what I was saying, he said, no, this is what you're going to do. That's when I became in fear and was like, okay.
So he was putting that demand on you. Yeah. That's what he was doing.
Yeah, he was putting the demand on me and putting me.
You was young.
That fear came in me where I felt like I literally, I felt like it was no other way. But okay, okay, left finger, okay. Like I just, like I said, I became like a machine, and I even wrote a poem about that, like how my name is Machine, because that's how I felt. I'd be just like, "Phew," I just became a robot and just did as he said, go get it, come back, he's pleased, and so it, it's like he literally programmed me right there from fear, and I did it. I came back. He told me exactly where to tell him to bring me back to, and this trick, I'm telling you, was he did everything I said to do that he told me. He said if you tell him make a left and he makes a right, jump out the car. You know what I'm saying? Like it's your rules, it's or nothing. So then he kind of put at the same
Also,
time giving me
he
instructions.
taught you how to survive as well out there.
Oh yeah,
Is what you're telling me
that
now.
yeah, that came through all that. But at the same time, while he's telling me to do something, he's also making me feel like I have power over this person. So he's giving me like
Some type of empowerment to
yeah,
make it seem like you're invincible and you can do
like
this
yeah,
and
I
you
could do
can
like
you're in control.
yeah,
You're
like
in
instead
control.
of him like he said he was steady telling me what to do, but then he was like, no, you gotta be and make
Pumping
sure
you
you
up.
do this, and
Pumping
make
you up.
like have you ever seen Hustle and Flow where he says
Mm-hmm.
where she says I'm the boss, or what she says um the white girl when he's going to jail
I
and
can't
Hustle and
remember.
Flow.
Shoot, Margarita.
I
I loved it though.
and,
That
and
was
he and she was like
hard out here for a pimp.
yeah, but he was telling her say it again, and she was like, "I'm in charge." That's what she's. That's what he told her. You're in charge, now say it. She's like, "I'm in charge." Like
Oh yeah, I remember that
like how
part.
he was pumping her
I
up.
remember
Like,
that part.
I bet you in charge. Now say it.
So
And
I
she was
remember
like,
that
"I'm in
part.
charge," and she went and did it. Well, that was kind of like what was given to me is like now you do this now you are the one that's going to do this like like what
It
made
seems
me
like
feel
it's like that with a lot of pimps and a lot of hoes that they need that type of um I wouldn't say protection, but they need somebody to make them feel like they are
they got it.
are let me see what word should I use? They're sort of like making them feel like if you need attention, I got the attention for you. They're building their character to who they want them to be, or something like their God. They want to be. Let me just put it like that. There's something like their God. It's almost like they look up to these pimps and they be like, well, whatever you say, whatever you need me to do, what is it? What is it? What is it? And they have to have started that by preying on the weak.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you can be strong minded, and I understand you're a child, and allow people to use you and make money off of you and then distribute it to you, the money that you made off you.
Like
you get it? Like he doing something for you. That's your body. That's your temple. Matter of fact, that's your sin. If you gonna pay for it, you might as well get paid for it. You understand what I'm saying? So I see that in a lot of the pimps. So I see that they want these women to worship them.
Well, it's them pimps that really there's pimps out there that if they catch you praying, they'll literally you probably get slapped and say, "Bitch, you talking to God without me?"
Because they already know that God is bigger than them.
Yes, they know that once they get that God fear in them, you can't mess with no God fearing person. Period.
So they actually get offended.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but let's not just talk about all pimps in general, like because there's different types of pimps here, okay? But there's also there's some pimps that pray with their hoes. You
Yeah,
know,
I know.
and
Now
they
I know
know
those
that.
kind of pimps. Now
Yeah,
those are the kind of pimps I know. I know the
yes,
kind of pimps that'll take their hoe to church.
yes, no, they
You
like,
know,
but they look,
buy
but
they
then,
buy they hoe a house, a boat.
yes. Now,
You know.
them the ones that they know the life that they're living is not good, but this is the life that we know. So let's embrace it, make it a stepping stone, and do what we have to do. Now, there's hoes out here that I know personally that don't have no pimps, that literally they pray every night, and I mean, my friend even talked to me. I won't say her name on here, but my friend even talked to me and told me, she's like, Margarita, you know, I don't like living this life. I don't know what else to do. I've been doing this since I was 13 years old. But that's why I'm getting this business. That's why I'm getting this. And then that's how I tell her all the time, like, well, girl, do your thing. Just be careful. You know what I'm saying?
That's once again, that is the choice that you made.
That she made
That
without
is
a
a
pimp. And
choice
she's
that
had
she
a
made
pimp in
without
the
a
yeah,
pimp.
she's had a pimp in the past, and she got all the game from him. Because one thing that a true pimp does is game his good bitch up. Now he's not gonna game any bitch up.
That got to be some whole talk right
Look,
there.
look,
Because you got to
yeah,
break that down for
look,
me.
okay, I'm gonna break it down. No, but his good bitch is a bitch that really is putting her heart into getting this money. She's bringing back more. He said, bring back 15. The bitch brings back 25. It's like, this is my Kobe. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm saying, I didn't.
Oh,
My,
so then they'll actually put that girl on a pedestal,
yes.
and she'll feel like, you know what,
And she's
I
the
got
one that
him, I got
listens.
him, I got him, I got
Yeah.
him more than any of the girls who are actually up under him. I got him,
Well,
and I'm gonna do more to please him and do more to please him.
Well, if a girl thinks like that, she gonna lose like a motherfucker because
Ooh.
well,
we still on testimony.
Yeah, because
Why you
girl,
cursing?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but a girl is gonna lose if she's with a pimp and she thinks like, well, if I get him all this money, he's gonna be with me. He's gonna be with me. It's not about the money. There's literally true pimps out there, and I would literally even speak on because I'm speaking up on him good. But Max Slim, um, he literally had all his broads. All his broads were his bottom bitches. They all was his bottom bitches. Not one had one special place.
Translation.
Excuse my
The
language.
one that he loved the most.
He loved all
the
his
one
girls
that
the same.
has his back. The one that
Yes,
took care of the rest of the
no, they all was one.
No, the bottom.
The bottom was all of them. He had
all bottom. Oh, no, I never heard
no,
that.
yes.
He didn't just have one bottom girl.
No.
He had all of them was the bottom.
All of them. And if one
he said, okay.
No, if one
he was a fair pimp.
Yeah, look, if one new came along, of course they like the girls all made sure that she came to above with the rest of them. They all had their own houses, businesses, and like they all had stuff. But when he decided to settle down, none of them had jealousy or anything like that because when he decided to settle down with the one girl that he in the lifestyle, you know, they all was okay with it. If anything, one of them I remember opened up to me and told me that, man, I feel so bad for my folks. He found the girl that he wanted to be with, but she ended up being no good, and I feel bad for him because now he back at it, and we just, because he finally.
Hey, it comes with the territory. Yeah, he's gambling anyway.
Yeah, and when she told me that, I was 17 years old in Miami in 1999, and when she told me that, I looked at her like, damn, like you're not supposed to have no feelings or nothing, or you're not supposed to expect your pimp to be with you.
You're not supposed to have no feelings.
No, you're not supposed to have no feelings. Period. It's a non-contact sport, and no feelings involved.
You can't be working with no feelings.
No, you. It's like when they say you can't be in love with him. You have to respect him and be loyal.
That's
to him.
That's a cold game.
That's the main thing. Like, I don't want no love and no pimp want to hear I love you, daddy. That they don't want to hear that shit. They want to see you be loyal. They want to see you, do as they say and want to get somewhere. And
Okay, but
that's
now
where,
you though, not to cut you off.
yeah, me, when I was with my turnout folks, like, he was still young. I'm not here to just bash on him. He rested in peace, but at the same time, he was young. He did some stuff that he was not supposed to do in the life. You know what I'm saying? Then when I, like, literally months later, it had to happen in, let's see, I'll turn 15 in May, June, July, August. Let's see, August, September, October, November. No, like September. I remember I literally was like, I want to go home. I don't want to be no hoe. I don't want to do this. So when I tried to go home, he came by my mama's house. I mean, by my parents' house. And he said, "Oh, try to spook me and say, man, I'll F your daddy up." And then, knowing damn well that my dad always had the shotgun behind his door. We
No,
lived
he
on
want to
50,
pump fear in your
we
heart.
lived on 54th and St. Andrews. My daddy a blood. Like, he a gangster. So I'm like, my daddy would shoot this dude. But then again, I didn't want no problems coming to my parents' house. So I ended up going back with him. Well, this one hoe told me the only way to leave him is to choose up with another guy. That means get with another pimp, give the other pimp some money where he could give him a call and tell him, hey, she's with me now. And he'll have to leave you alone. But if you leave that pimp that you chose up with, he ain't gonna come bother you because you just gonna be a fly by night. And a fly by night is just a hoe that's a choosy
Talk
Susie.
about bondage.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
So
Talk
it's like
about bondage.
choosy Susie. So I thought me getting with this other guy, he was gonna let me go. Well, he got the phone call that I left and everything, but he found out where he lived. He found out where he lived. He broke into his house and he got me. He broke
Came and
both of
snatched you up out of there.
well, no, he's in the house in there. Him and the guy was fighting, and the guy's son and his two hoes was right there, and the guy grabbed him. And I remember telling him like, my maybe I was gonna take her home to her parents. She's 15 years old, and my turn folks was like, you don't understand. That's my bitch. That like she's done everything. That's my number one right now. She can't go nowhere. He said, "My nigga, she a
So the
minor."
other pimp wanted to rescue you and
Hmm.
send you back home.
It's not that he wanted to rescue me. I already chose up with him, and then after I chose up with him, I let him know because he was, he wanted to know about me.
Well,
I
if
was
he said
coming,
he was gonna send
and
you back home to
yeah,
your mama, to
when I
me
told
that's
him,
that's that's like saying
yeah,
I'm gonna do the right thing. I'm gonna get her
yeah,
up out this bondage that she in. So
he
that
literally
that
told me, he
was
said,
that
"You
was a
going home?"
rescue.
He literally said, "Tomorrow." He said, "Where do you live?" And I told him where I live. He said, "I'm taking you home."
And then here come
And
the
he didn't
food.
even want my money, no nothing. He said, "Keep that money." He was like, "I'm taking you home." And
And
the
then
old
here
boy
come the
came.
food.
He came
Y'all should have
broken.
left way a long
He,
time ago.
yeah, he came and brought. Well,
Immediately.
you'll hear my story later about what I did next time. But he came. He broke both of my ankles. Literally stomped both of my feet and said, he said, this bitch ain't gonna walk." And I was behind the guy, and he was standing over me, and I'm sitting on the floor, and my leg was out. So he started stomping on my feet, and I was just like, oh, it was so painful. Like, it was the most horrible thing ever in my life
Oh my.
that I felt, and it makes me sad because I was only 15. I was only 15 years old, and I just wanted out. And he started kicking through the bottom of his in the middle of his legs. He started kicking through, and I just felt like literally kicks all in my face, just kicks, kicks, kicks. And I tried, and I just went like this, and I remember getting kicked back here, and I just went like this, and I just kept putting my face towards the wall, for I could, my face could be to the wall. And I remember all this, he just was kicking my chest too. And I mean, I was bruised up everywhere, in my ear, everything. I'm sorry, I'm like, oh, crying. But
At that time,
at
did you
that
know
time,
God?
well, yeah, I was raised up in a good home. It's crazy because in my adopted parents, they were Muslim. Well, my father was Muslim, my mom was still Jehovah Witness, but I lived in a very structured house and everything. But the only thing that I could honestly remember telling him is like, please, please, I'm not gonna leave. Please don't kill me. I'm only 15. He was like, shut up. Shut like
Did you
and
start praying to God to
I
yourself?
honestly no. I
It didn't
all
come
I
to you like that
remember
to call on God because you were so
I
young. You
probably, you
just
know what, I kind of remember like just please, like, but I don't remember like, and I should have, but I
it's
don't
okay because
remember.
you didn't have to because He already did it
Oh
anyway.
yeah,
He covered you. He protected
yeah,
you.
because he didn't
But
kill
you know
me. Because I'm telling you,
exactly,
he hit me
exactly.
so hard right here. And even the girl, one of the dude's girls, was like, if he would have just went up a little more, he would have hit your temple and you would have died.
Now is
Like,
this the same man? Excuse me for skipping over because from my understanding,
he's resting in peace now.
okay, he's resting in peace. And then
He actually got killed by one of his pimp partners in Arizona.
okay, well, I'm sorry to hear that, but
My
it
mama
is what it
wasn't
is.
sorry.
It
My
it
mama
is
wasn't sorry.
it is what it is. He didn't get a chance to repent and change his life like most people do today.
And it's crazy because you
So
know what? He actually was one. It's I know it's messed up for me to even say, and it's kind of fucked up, but it's messed up what he did to me. It really is. But for him, it's just it's like he was forced in that lifestyle too. And I'm not saying it's okay for anybody, you know what I'm
you
saying?
have forgiveness
But
then.
I really I forgave him
Yes,
because
that's
of
good.
all the things I've done. I want the Lord to forgive me, and I'm
So
still
you can
working
move
on other
on.
I'm
That's
still
right.
yeah, I'm still working on other
That's
forgiveness
right.
that I need to forgive certain people for
That's how
certain
you
things.
grow. That's how you
But
grow. That's how you
him,
move on.
I actually forgave him. You know what I'm saying? And for the game that he taught me, because after that, after he took me home, after all that, he took me back to his house. I laid up for 3 months. He took care of me, everything, all the hoes was taking care of me, bringing me food and all that, and telling me stories of what was going on and whatever. And once I got on my feet and everything, he treated me very cautiously. He he seen that I was very quiet, wouldn't say nothing to him, and he didn't bother me for sex because he knew I was not into him. He knew I was only there because of fear. He knew I was only there because I'm making you this money and that's it.
Mm.
You know, and it got to the point where um, one day, it was on Christmas, he said, do you want to go to the movies? And I said, on Christmas? And he got mad because I said that on Christmas. And he said, well, bitch, go work then, bitch. And then he flipped out on me. So I went to go work on fucking Christmas in 1997. I went out there hoeing on Christmas. And when he did that, I told a good friend of mine, Heidi, I told her, I said, I'm about to leave him. She said, Margarita, she was like, Zay, he gonna do the same shit. He gonna try to kill you, son. I said, no, he not, because I'm gonna go with some pimp that's gonna leave up out of here. And I did. 2 days later, I remember it was the 27th of December, and it's crazy. On the 27th of December, I actually seen this one guy named Billy, and he looked like I'm no lie. This pimp looked like fucking Prince. Okay, this pimp looked like Prince. He talked to like, but come here. He just was. I'm telling you,
Lord.
he just long fucking Jerry curl, dripping, bit like big lips.
Is that the pimp you chose?
Small fucking eyes like a Chinese
Did,
boy.
but
Like,
did you choose
yes,
him?
I chose his ass, but I told him before I gave him any
You
money.
chose Pee Wee Herman? No, I'm just playing. You know
I
what?
told him, I said, if I go with you, I said, you got to take me out of LA tonight. He said, I'm about to go to Vegas right now. I said, I jumped in the car and I gave him $2,000. No, actually, it was like 19 and some change, but I gave him 1,900 and some change. And I closed the door and he put on Prince. He even was
You took the one that looked like Prince Act like Chris, the most softest one that you can find.
He was actually the most gorilla motherfucker I've ever
Oh my
met.
God, but he looked like the softest one that you can trust. You wasn't looking at, he was
actually
more looking at the outside, I'm sure. Everything. But he took you up out of here, okay?
Took me up out of here, and I was literally was gone. From there, I was gonna leave him, but with him, he actually was showing me more of the life. He was actually, and then we went to a party of his family, and I noticed that not only was his daddy a pimp, but the mama used to be an old hoe. His grandmother was an old hoe. It was in the family. The uncles are all in the family. The nieces are hoeing. So it was like a whole family fucking get together reunion.
That's pretty deep.
Yeah, I literally ended up choosing at someone that was born in it, and it got to the point where it's like, okay, now I'm getting Louis Vuitton purses, now I'm getting up there, getting stuff,
but those are just things.
Of course, those are just things. But coming from someone that only nickel and dime me, and I fucking gave him thousands a day, $1,000 every fucking, excuse my language. Sorry. I gave him I get like mad when I
$1,000. Yeah, I'll get mad too because I would have kept that $1,000 for myself.
No, listen, I gave him $1,000 every day, sometimes even more. I would make more money. And I was like, they called me, she's a happy hoe because I used to be like, oh, the night's still young and there's more money out here. He used to be like, oh, no, this girl just
but you know what?
Because it was just in me to like.
I hate to say it.
Happy, but
I hate to say it, but we didn't give these men too much credit out here.
Pimping, that was nothing but a youngster being stuff. Just like.
I hate to say.
I'd rather have worked than be at the room looking at him.
And then if you gonna be a hoe, wouldn't you have rather been your own hoe?
Oh yeah. Nobody else. I became all that, and I became all that. Like honestly. I feel like this, like I told somebody, I didn't buy every dream you can have. I didn't buy it, and I gave it back for free because I don't need no dreams. I know who I am, and I know what I can do, and that's why I used to have a saying. If a man knows who I am, he knows what I can do, he knows what I can make, he knows where I've been. I don't want him because I know he don't want me for me. He's looking at me like
that's because I see something else in you. I see that. Something else has grown in you, and that's your spiritual aspect of everything. The spiritual aspect of everything. Now you're on a different level. You're not like you don't think like you used to think. You don't act like you used to act, and so you have a different way.
I got God in me.
Amen. You have God in you. You have a different way of doing things now. Yeah. So it you would never want to go back to that lifestyle again after knowing the man that's really in control, what he's already done for you.
And you know what I tell,
and what he continues to do for you.
And when my friend actually was telling me like, say, I want to get out this lifestyle. I felt like her telling me all this, she probably felt some type of way because I'm not in that lifestyle no more. And I used to make the money she made. And I'm tell her like, girl, I'm not in that life.
But you can minister to her.
Cause no, I actually kind of did, not even trying to, because I thought she was laughing at me when I said, girl, they didn't put my EBT money on my card this month. I wonder what's going on. And I heard a little laughter in the back.
Oh, because you said EBT.
Yeah, so I confronted her because I was talking to my other friend, and I confronted her and I said, I might be assuming, but did you laugh at me? Because hold up a second, I've been in that lifestyle. Don't get me wrong, I could get in that lifestyle like homegirl and make stupid money. I choose not to.
That's right.
And if me being on EBT is what I want to do right now because I'm getting on my feet, not just getting on my feet, but I'm an activist.
I'm doing
I swallowed my pride to get in that line, knowing that I could get on my line and call an old trick, and get 2,500 spend a night.
And by the way, y'all, the system is really messed up because they still have her kids in the system.
Well, not in the system. The social workers, when the case got opened, now we're talking about something totally
What
different.
they're with their family, but they're not with you. Is what I'm trying
No,
to say.
all because of prostitution.
But that's what I'm trying to say. It's because of the system. When I say they're in the system, their names is in the system. They might not be with strangers, but they was taken from their mama, which I watched them love on day in, day out. I watched you be a parent, a good mother to these kids. I've never seen you do anything to where they should have been taking your kid from you. And I was around, so I knew that once you started raising your daughter at 5 years old, is when I really met you, is when she was probably
No,
about
before.
3. And then you had Emerald when he was after that, and he was a baby. But Gabriel, Emerald is her, and then you had Gabriel. But all those years, I've saw you, and you was a parent. You was a good parent. You was always with your kids. You was taking care of your kids. It was always about your kids. My kids this, my kids that. And for them to take your kids because of the lifestyle that you used to live, I think that's terrible.
And how it opened up because my ex pimp, my daughter's father,
and gave her back to pimp.
Attacked me in front of inside the police station, in front of the police. And literally, when he did that, that's how the DCFS case got open.
But that is they gave him custody of your child, and he is the pimp. This is what I need y'all to understand. Yeah. He's the pimp, but now the system gave her baby girl to the pimp. Something is wrong with this picture.
My life the story gets real deep because
something is wrong with that. I say the system did not work for you.
No, it did not at all. A lot of people look at prostitutes like we're a lot of people look at prostitutes like we're disgusting, we're nasty, we shouldn't even have kids. What are we doing fucking without condoms? And
no condemnation, no self-condemnation.
This is what I told the social
Nobody
worker.
can condemn anybody because they got hoeing and prostitution now in the churches. And I'm just saying, you got a whole lot of hoes out there that's prostituting and sleeping around and talking about it's all in Jesus' name. And they getting paid and doing all kinds of stuff. So it's different forms of prostitution going on right now. They pimping in the White House. I mean, they pimping us right now. Yeah. A lot of the preachers is pimping us in the churches.
I think what it was
it's just a different form.
I think what it was is honestly how I really honestly felt is that when these social workers with this case with the dad, mm-hmm. Here is this nice looking young black man. Here, these social workers, I got 2 young black women doing my case. And then mind you, who my baby daddy is. We can't say his name, but my son's father.
Right.
And the only reason we can't say his name is because we have restraining order and all that. But who, after all this, we'll tell you who it is. But my son's father. So they're starstruck of who my son's father is. Mm-hmm. And they're looking at my baby daddy and my pimp, my ex-folks. They're looking at him like, oh, this light-skinned, fine man. But then they could hear, I believe, they see a Hispanic woman and look like she got a little soul and she act like she got soul in her. Don't know my background. Don't know that I was adopted. Don't even know that my family, literally, my grandfather lives across the street.
You are definitely
I was adopted by Creoles and I was raised in a Southern home.
Yeah.
So they not knowing my background and how the reason why I am the way I am. So here they judged me, and that's when one of the social workers, Shantae Houston, she looked at me and said, "You're a prostitute." I said, "Don't look at me like I'm nasty. I should be looking at you like you nasty. You a square, and I bet you've been fucking everybody without a condom." Sorry. But I told her, "I bet you've been screwing everybody without a condom looking for love. So don't look at me like I'm nasty." I said, "You see how many kids I got? That's how many times I done had unprotected sex." So when I told her that, which was totally wrong of me. Why? Because this lady has authority over me, being a social worker and then my kids. Well, she's the one that one day said, I'm taking your kids. I said, on what cause? Well, your life is chaos. How is my life chaos? I'm not a prostitute. I'm not a gangbanger. I don't do drugs. I'm an activist. I got meetings. I got this going on. I got my clothing, Santiago, going. It's going great. How is my life chaos? Well, your baby daddy say this about you. I could say a lot of things about them, but well, you went to jail. When did I go to jail? You went to jail the other day, and that's it. I'm taking your kids. When she said that and got up and had her little lips poking out and got up, and I grabbed her by her wig, I flipped out because you're not taking my kids from me. She used me grabbing her wig after all this she told me, taking my kids with no probable cause. She actually used my physical afterwards.
Of course.
This is the reason why I'm taking your kids.
Of course. Okay, but you didn't go through the process of anger management, parenting class,
domestic violence,
everything they asked you to do.
They told me, and then when I went to court, we were actually going through trial, because my daughter was saying that the father was following with her, which, like I said in court myself, I pray to God this is not true. And I kept telling my daughter, baby, do you know the truth from a lie? In front of these people.
We're going to pray that you get your kids back.
No, I will. They're coming back in a few months. I feel it.
And
the Lord
I wanted to
has
ask
been
you,
giving me
amen.
So much.
Good, because I'm glad he has. I'm
and
glad
I
he told
brought
you that.
my Bible practice.
I'm glad he told you that, because I feel that. I'm touching and agreeing with you. Your kids are coming back, and they're coming back sooner than you think. I want to ask you this. Have you forgotten? Not forgotten. Have you forgot? I know you will never forget. Have you forgiven the social worker that caused you all this pain? Have you forgiven her? That is going to be your key. If you forgive her for what she had done to you,
you know why I could say I forgave her?
That's your key.
The reason why I say
it ain't easy.
No,
I'll be mad too.
But the reason why I'm thinking about it right now, and the only reason why I could say I forgive her, is because karma and my Lord is so strong.
And I was gonna say
that she is about to get something even worse than what she did to me.
And what you do, you want to pray for her, and you want to feel sorry for what might happen. You don't want God to wrath to come down on her, because you know that when he takes care of it, it's a way worse situation. So you begin to feel compassion for that person, and say, you know, I forgive you, Lord.
And the reason why I forgive her is because she didn't know she didn't know, being bitter and thinking that I'm gonna take her kids away from me because she has a smart mouth and I have authority here and
she didn't know. She didn't know what she was doing. Honestly, spiritually, she did not know what she was doing, and I'm pretty sure she has already saw a lot of things as far as karma is concerned, and negative energy coming her way, and whatever can go wrong she's already experienced it, I'm sure. So I just want to make sure that, because that's the way it goes. God has a way of revealing things and opening up people's eyes to certain situations. There's a whole lot of people that's taking people's kids out here for no reason at all and getting paid for it in that system. You're not the only one.
Do you know you there's a girl that comes to my meeting, and guess who turns her out? A social worker. A lot of teenage girls
they corrupted.
Are in the system.
The social workers are corrupted.
A lot of teenage girls are in the system. That's how these pimps are getting these girls from.
That's what I just said. It's a conspiracy. Those are getting money
when the kids don't have parents, when these kids don't have no parents, instead of going to foster care, it's a conspiracy saying that the children's services is giving these kids to the pornography people.
Oh my!
Ain't nobody claiming these children.
That's ridiculous.
So these are kids with no family, no nothing. So these kids are being sold. Children's Services is one of the main people under human trafficking. Under human trafficking.
I had no idea, but I know that they have a corrupted system of employees who work for them. who actually been doing the unknown out here with these kids, and I had no idea that they was actually participating in,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
pimping and everything
Who
else.
wants these teenage girls? Nobody wants a teenage girl. Teenage girls got their attitudes, and if they haven't already said,
So that would make sense that they
they
would start a trafficking, body trafficking
yep.
ring
Hmm.
and hide behind the system.
They put them in homes close to prostitution. Like for instance, a good friend of mine, her daughter, they took her daughter from her. They put her teenage daughter by a home off of Western, and prostitution was right on the corner.
Yeah, all
These
day.
pimps knew that this home of girls was right there. Used to talk to the. Do you think the staff stopped and told these pimps not to talk to them? The staff used to go, go out there and say hi to him. Go out there. They were selling these girls to see who they were lured in. They have to do it in a way. And the girl even said it one day that one of the staff was like, girl, you probably get some money going. You better go in. And she was looking like, I need to call my mom. And she called her mom. She told her mama what's going on. And her mom called the social worker. You better get my daughter out of there real fast.
This is why I say most of these places that they take these kids, because I've heard some horrible stories from foster care situations. Most of these places
I
are
would
not
literally,
better than the home itself for the kid, or it's not better than being with the
I
parent
would
at
literally
all.
cry
I understand.
so much. Like it seems like every Friday at my meetings, somebody tells me some screwed up story where it's like, I wish I was there to help them. I wish I was there to help them. I wish I wish I could just beat that dude up.
Well, but you
You
don't
know,
have to do that.
and
You
it
helping
just
them by doing what you're doing, by coming on here, telling your story, inspiring everybody else. Because somebody's gonna see this and they're going to say, you know what? If she can be strong like that, mentally and spiritually, I want to be strong like that mentally and spiritually. I want to step out on faith now.
well,
I
I
want
want
to
to
do
let
this
you
on my
guys
own.
know that even like, okay, of everything I had talked to you guys about 1997, getting turned out, being young, my ankles being broken, trying to leave that lifestyle, everything I've been through. When I was literally of all that lifestyle, I had my first boyfriend, square boyfriend at 21. He got killed at 23. I went back to Pippin and Hoeing because I felt like that was the only thing going for me. I didn't know nothing else. You know what I'm saying? My boyfriend got me out that lifestyle, was so good to me, and the devil took him away. I could never say that God took him away. The devil took him away in these streets. And I got back into that lifestyle, ended up meeting with my daughter's dad, which he was a pimp, came from a pimp and a hoe, you know. And when I got pregnant with my daughter, it just hit me to run one day because he was trying to get me to have an abortion. And this I talk about in my documentary that he was trying to get me to abort my daughter. I was 28 years old. And I can't believe me saying I was 28 because I still felt so young. But I was 28 years old, and I just literally ran from him. I ran from him and no lie. When I was running from him, I felt like something was kind of like, bro, you better go back or else you gonna get hurt. Because mind you, since I was young, it was put in me that you would get killed. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like to run back, but I literally honestly felt like two angels. Like I didn't think at the time, but I felt like as I was getting pushed back, I felt like someone was like, nope. Like I had like two people put like, go. You know what I'm saying? And I remember just running across Olympic. I remember the street I was running across Olympic and I ran into this hair salon called Margarita's Hair Salon. I just did a documentary. We just filmed outside. Matter of fact, I need to call the lady to make sure we're good to show it on tape. But I literally in that shop, I just started praying. I just said, God, please, I don't want this life. I want to live, so God, please, I don't want this life. But it was crazy because I had so much fear in me
But I bet that fear gone.
oh, now it's way gone.
God didn't give you that spirit, I
But
know.
it was like, even praying to God was like kind of scary because I was like, okay, I know I'm not supposed to pray to him unless I'm with him. but it was me praying to God. It was like even asking
You're not supposed to
God.
pray to who? Who?
I wasn't supposed to pray to God unless I was in front of my folks. The guy.
That's you said that's what they told you not to
That's
do.
what my daughter's father was just like. You don't pray to God. If you pray to God, I want to hear what you say and say right. Like
that's the power of the Lord, y'all.
Woo!
That's how the power of the Lord is.
They were trying to stop you.
At the mention of his name,
it's like
every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess the devil himself that he is Lord. Yeah. And this is why I have to point that out when you say that the pimp did not want you to say, a prayer without him knowing what you was talking about. Because he know that when you get to praying to God, it is so real, deliverance is immediate. You understand me? And I am so glad that the God that we serve also told you, I'm going to protect you by any means necessary. So do what you do and call on me. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying?
I literally just told my sister not even a week ago, because I'm trying to help my sister get out of the lifestyle, and I told my sister, I said, she was like, girl, I've been needing to have money. I don't know how you do it. I said, let me tell you something, honey. God keep me with money.
He's a provider.
I said, God keep me with money. I said, sometimes I said, and it's not no bad.
Jehovah Jireh.
Out the blue, I totally forgot about these other checks. I said, and this money that it was given to me, but I said,
overflow.
Yes, I said, I totally forgot about these checks. And when I went to go pick up the one check I thought I had, I picked up two checks. And then it was a time, I told her it was a time that one day I couldn't believe that I didn't have no money on my check. Said, whoa, I spent too much money.
Oh, but right? God.
And then all of a sudden, I get a text from Cash App from somebody that I have not talked to in so long. I didn't even talk to the person. They sent me $100, so I called the person. I said, you just sent me $100, right? He said, I know. He said, I don't know why I did it, but I just felt I had to give it to you because I've been getting blessed with this money, and I just felt like I had to give it to you.
God said I will bless those who bless you.
Showed, put it in him to send me money. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy because I'm telling you, as soon as he sent me that $100, I went and put some gas in my tank because I was on E. And I bought a few little things that I needed. And then all of a sudden I got a phone call like, hey, they called me that back money from HIS.
Overflow.
It's coming your way. I said,
all you had to do was give it to God, and He been doing it like no other pimp can ever do it for you in your life. Ain't no way in the world a pimp can give you what God and Jesus Himself, Jesus Christ, can step in and give you. Ain't nothing that anybody can give you. And you done learned that, and he keep on showing you. He keep on giving it to you without you asking. You just getting it. I bet you say, this the best hoeing I ever did. Not to hoe. So, so the
being a woman of
God. Being a woman of God.
Not being somebody's property. Not to
actually.
Like when pimps come up to me, and be like, oh, you like this one pimp. I always tell this story. He's like, I could change your life. I said, for real? I said, how you gonna change my life? And he was like, I could give you this, I could give you that. I said, well, why don't you ask me what I do now? And he said, well, what is it that you do now? Because you ain't gonna be doing it for a while. And I said, well, I run human trafficking meetings. He said, oh, that's good. And you have a good day. I said, you
Amen.
Too. I was like,
see, and God put you in that position just so that you can arrest those spirits. Yes. He's using you to arrest those spirits. You know why? Because I totally agree now with this project, and I see why Alexi and everybody that's been in the group is talking about free yourself from all of this bondage. Free yourself. Make prostitution legal and free yourself from all of this bondage.
You know what I say to the women out there? If you're hoeing, even if you have a pimp, now I don't knock what you do. If you're not being forced, if you're doing it by choice, and you have this pimp, you gotta even set rules for your pimp to make sure, like, hey,
take your pimp to church. Take him to church.
If this does not go the way I want to, I have a choice to
Take him
leave
to church.
and leave you alone. And the pimp knows that, like, man, I got to do this for my, like, I'm not saying everything is okay, but what I'm saying is, women, you have every right to pull rules down too, and pimps could be out of pocket too. Okay, it's all in the
Rule
book.
number
Okay?
one: follow God.
Yes,
Rule number one:
that one right
follow
there.
God. And if your pimp want to be with you that bad, and you want to be out there doing you, it's not something that you have to change, and you feel like you can't change it. Ain't nobody asking you to change it. You and your pimp just go to church and hear the word of God. Yeah. Get on your knees and pray together, and watch the manifestations take place. That's why we need to stop all of this illegal pimping and hoeing, because it's only giving fire to the corruption.
Yes.
The corrupted system, the corrupted child services, the corrupted body trafficking, corrupted young age kids just out there 14, 13 on the corner.
Younger. It looks like a 12-year-old girl or
it's got to be some rules to this, y'all. It's got to be some rules to it, and it can be, if they legalize it, I think that they would make a better place
if they was to
for people to make that kind of decision.
If they was to legalize it, they would have to put some strong standard rules to it. You know why? Because
put them in place.
If you think about it, like I was telling Lexi this story earlier, this girl sold herself for $40 for sex. She got beat up badly because she lowered her standards. That's not good.
It's not legal.
It's no. It's not because it's not legal.
I'm saying if it was legal, though, do you think that people would have that kind of power over you?
No. You're not seeing where I'm seeing it from. If it goes legal, a girl could just be on some funny shit and like, give me $1, I'll fuck you and fuck you for free. But that's just because no, listen. All because they just, they really like doing it. But here, these men are telling these other women like, well, look, this person does this for this and this. If they legalize it, they need to put standard rules like it starts off at 500.
Well, that's not gonna happen, Margarita. They ain't gonna do that. This is a capitalist. Yeah, they're not gonna do that. Yeah, but they're not gonna. It's not realistically. They're not gonna do that. They're gonna leave that.
But you see, now that
you have $1,000.
That's right.
You get what you pay for.
And then you get what you pay for. Exactly.
Listen, a lot of people though that will do that, and they know they still will go to jail. They'll be scared to get into that lifestyle.
They should be scared to even
they don't want to go to jail.
The man should be scared of $1
But
I mean,
right. It's like $1 massage.
I mean, exactly. I mean, we all want a massage, but we ain't going to the. He said for free. Oh, wait a minute.
Right.
I ain't going to get that massage. Yeah, I'd rather pay. You understand me? And there's people that think like that. They'd rather pay. I don't think it's gonna be a good idea for people to try to lower their standards.
I would hope not neither. Like I would, just like you gotta go to classes to even be a peer specialist. I think if they legalize it, I think it would be great for these girls before they get their license to become prostitutes, become escorts.
To be school?
Yeah, come to my school. I'll teach you. I agree.
Unless he's like, I'll agree. As a matter of fact, you know what?
Like,
I think I'll help you out with that.
Like certain rules and regulations for workplace safety.
And not just that, but this is for our safety.
Workplace safety.
This is for their
that should
safety.
Be now. That should be done right now, even though it's illegal.
This is for their safety. I actually they call it hoe tips, but I give safety tips to girls that come to my meetings.
That's needed.
Because girls really don't understand that they get thrown out there with no instructions. And that one thing that G told me is if he makes a left, if you tell him to make a left and he made a right, jump out the car.
Well,
that was a one safety thing, because one day I was mad at him and the guy made the wrong turn, And I just was mad at him, like, man, forget him. Anyways, okay, honey, I guess you taking me where you want to go. Where you want to go? He said, oh, I got this place. He takes me to this parking structure. He goes all the way into the parking. I can't open my door. He can't open his door. But he parked right there, and he tried to attack me.
He could have killed you.
Yes.
I have a
He
friend
could have
who
killed
was
me, and I literally fought. I fought him so much. Was so scared.
I have a friend
that
who
he
got
just-
who was pronounced dead from something like that.
Oh yeah.
And you guys all know her name is Lawana. And she was dead on arrival, and she'll be your next interview. And she was pronounced dead, and she was never supposed to be alive. And it was hundreds of girls done, just like how you just said they veered you to somewhere, else in secret, and then entrapped you, and he wanted to probably kill you. But once again, it was the grace of God. And so, that's why you're here today to tell your story. And this is why I say, maybe it should be legalized. Then we won't have to worry about females getting in trouble for renegading and hoeing by themselves. Because actually, it's a choice that you're making. It should not have to be, based on what other man or another man wants to do. You know what I mean?
I think the only time that they really would pressure a broad homer without a pimp is on the track. On concrete.
Well, I think that they shouldn't do it at all. Is what I'm saying. So if it's legalized, they won't be able to throw them in the systems. The kids and all of these rings won't be going on, and all this body trafficking here, and all it's because it's illegal that they're able to make money off of it. Illegally is the reason why all these bad things are happening. So if you legalize guns right now today, then we wouldn't have all these mishaps of niggas shooting each other. Excuse me. Let me rephrase that. I don't want to say niggas because we got that bad, and that's just the ghetto coming out of me. But us black people wouldn't have all this shooting at each other and killing each other at will, and ain't nobody else got a pistol but you. Let guns be legal. I bet you. I'm talking about let it be out here in California that we can legally carry a gun.
Like Arizona.
Should carry a gun.
What?
In Arizona.
The reason why I say that.
Like, I don't want to be I understand
what you're saying. But the reason I say that is because the crime is less.
It's not.
And it's almost like they probably got a gun too, so I ain't gonna pull my gun out because they probably gonna pull it. It's either me or them. When they thinking like that, it's either me or them. Then they won't. A lot of these people that's carrying guns, they ain't gonna pull no gun out on you if they know you got one too. That's all I'm saying. If they know you got a gun too, they ain't gonna try to pull no gun out. They ain't even walking up to you talking about where you from, because your mama and your grandmama packing too, and they do it anyway. But I'm saying there's so many people going to jail for guns because they scared of their life. There's so many people that's in jail, like even my child's father right now, because of stuff like that, because they know that the lifestyle that they lived or used to live, people are still out there with guns in their hands out to get them. So they feel like they have to protect themselves. So they like, well, you know what, I'm gonna keep my gun too. If I got my gun and they got their gun, I mean, it's you or me.
That makes me nervous because like y'all having a shootout now, I get shot.
Well, that's what we having now all the time. You got the guns in the wrong hands. If the guns was in the right hands, then it probably wouldn't be so many guns in the wrong hands. But I mean, they in the wrong hands. You got people who don't know nothing about shooting. You got people who just shooting just to shoot. You got people that's just mentally insane, carrying guns. People that have sense. If they can carry a gun, a lot of people would not be dead today if the people that had sense was carrying their gun who somebody walked up to and robbed.
Since it's not legal,
that.
What you're saying, since it's not legal, and the good people are doing the obeying by the law's ways and not having guns.
Why can't they protect themselves?
That is having guns is the ones doing all the killing. So why not the ones that is protecting ourselves? Why
to protect guns? My granddaddy and them lived by the gun rule back in the day. Now I don't believe that we all need guns because it's true. You live by the gun, you die by the gun, and that's not what I'm saying. But even back in the day, my granddaddy was a pastor of a great church. And I'm telling you, he did not play no games. He will bring out his shotgun in a minute, but you knew not to come over there with no problems. Don't go over there to that house. Don't mess with nobody in that house. Because their granddaddy, he's a preacher, but he got a shotgun and he will shoot it. See, that's
That's
what
not
happened down
bad.
south.
Yeah.
And a lot of people had shotguns to protect their homes, But now it's not like that. Even if they know you got a gun, even the white supremacist cops is coming in to kill you and say they had a gun. So you damned if you do, and you damned if you don't. But I see that's the same situation with prostitution. And so we're gonna just keep praying for you and your situation. You damn if you do, you
You
damn
know
if
what I
you
want
don't.
to say before we end this? It was something that my sister had said because I took my sister with me to go meet a friend with me, right? I didn't know my friend was going to do this, but my guy friend, my sister right there, he said, "Oh, come over here. I got something for you." I said, "Oh, okay." So he gives me an envelope, and in the envelope, it was some money. And my sister said, "Oh, you still be getting little tricks?" I said, "He ain't no trick. That's a man, and I'm a woman, and he's just giving me something because he know that I'm in need. I'm in help. You know what I'm saying?" And me saying all this to say this: a lot of people put it to women like, "Oh, she's hoeing, she's hoeing." When in reality, us being women, us even having who we are,
We are
and
collateral.
yeah, and for men to want to be with us, want
We
to
are
be around us,
collateral.
and it's like, why not help a woman out?
We are
Back in the
collateral.
back, I see this old fashioned movie where it was a black and white movie, and the man broke it off with this girl. He said, "I think you're too flirtatious. I'm just giving you here 100,000 it should be good for you until you find your next man." That ain't nothing but being a gentleman and making sure this girl is
Yeah, well,
okay.
good luck on that because these
No,
guys
but
don't want
that
to
was
give up.
back in the
They don't want to
days.
give up $100. They don't want 100,000.
Yeah, this
But that's
man,
a good thing to bring
but
up.
when I seen that, it made me think. It made me know that that's the way it's supposed to be.
That's
You know what I'm
why,
saying? For a person to look
ladies,
out for
if
a
you're gonna
person,
be
you
with a
know.
man, make sure he got some benefits. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Because God
Not just
wants you.
his benefits,
God
but that
wants
you
you.
benefiting. You
You
know,
have to
from something.
benefit.
You have
God
to.
wants you to benefit from any man who comes your way and
We're not
tries to
trying to
date
sell
you.
yourself just because he's giving you stuff.
But
No, no,
he
no.
needs
He
to
needs to
treat you like
contribute
a
you
queen.
before he even gets
He
any of
needs to.
that. He needs
Yes.
to like
And that's not knowing. That's just knowing. Okay.
no.
So I love y'all and to God be the glory.
Bye, you
Margarita, thank
guys.
you so much.
I
You
love
always
you.
come and share. And I've been following Margarita for a while and her story, guys.
Yes.
So y'all look out because we're gonna be,
I have
definitely
meetings, by the way. It's called I Survive. It's for sexual trauma. Um,
give them your Instagram
and
and whatever.
my Instagram is First Lady 333. I don't say much about stuff on there, but you could come to Share in Culver City off of the address is 6666 Green Valley Circle. It's at Share every Friday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. in the Serenity Room. I run my meeting there. Come. Just just it's open to the public. It's open
And
to
you
people that
women
want
who
to.
might want to come
Women
and
and
sit in,
men.
yeah,
It's
women and men. I'm
Yep,
sorry, you're
women
right.
and men.
Want to come and sit in the group.
It's for sexual trauma, and sexual trauma. It's a list of everything. It could be
It could be anybody.
body
too.
memory, like for someone to be like, I think something happened to me, but I'm not for sure. Well, come hear some stories,
Yeah.
and maybe you will have a for sure in your life.
Wherever
something
you are
might
in
do.
life. Yeah, whether it's at your job, whether
Yeah.
it's at your school,
Or your
whether
story might
know.
even help somebody else move on with their day because there's people that just come in there and look down and look up and look back down because they've been through so much they feel like no one's been through what they've been through until somebody opens their mouth and they open up like look at you straight in your face like, oh my God, someone else has been through what I've been through. And now the few people that I'm talking about, they're talking, they're social, they're even telling.
Well, that's what the group will do
come.
for you. So she's inviting you guys down to Culver City, and please
Bring
go
some snacks.
and please go and support the cause. And if you're one of the ones out there that need help, please go and get some help and join the group that she just told you about. And until next time, thank you guys for tuning
Thank
in
you
on
guys.
testimony. I'm in my own home today. Thank you,
I know,
Alexis,
it's
for
beautiful.
coming.
Thank you.
And to God be the glory, child.
Yes, amen. Hallelujah.
Okay.
That's nice.
Okay.
High five, and I'm busting the other bottle open.
I love you
I hear
so
my
much.
nephews and my nieces